Welcome to Shell Lectures. So today we will be dealing with the second video, that is the second part of NCERT Class 10 Chemistry Lesson 1, that is chemical reactions and equations, and today we will be dealing with the types of chemical reactions. So before getting into the topic, let's know how a chemical reaction occurs. So you all know that the left part of a chemical reaction is known as reactant part and the right part is known as product part. So it doesn't mean that the reactants combine together and they disappear to produce the products. That's not the real fact. Okay, they do not disappear. Rather, they do not completely change from reactants to products. Only thing which happens is that breaking of old bonds and formation of new bonds. Okay, so the already existing bonds in the reactants will get broken and new bonds will be formed, which paves way for the formation of the products. Okay, so that is how a chemical reaction takes place. So today we are going to deal with the types of chemical reactions in detail. The first type of chemical reaction which we are going to learn about is combination reaction. The word itself says combination. So two things combining together to produce a single product. We can write it as A plus B is AB. Okay, two or more reactants combining together to form a single product. That's very important, single product. Then it's known as combination reaction. Okay, so a very good example for these kind of reactions are calcium oxide. How do you write calcium oxide? Calcium oxide plus water gives CaOH twice. Okay, this is known as calcium oxide and this is known as calcium hydroxide. This is known by another name known as quicklime, and this is known as slacked lime. Okay, so this is, and also heat is evolved. Heat is evolved. It releases heat. Okay, so CaO plus H2O is CaOH twice plus heat. As it is releasing heat, that is, it's emitting out heat, this process, the entire reaction, can also be termed as an exothermic reaction. Exothermic reaction. Okay. Another examples for combination reaction are formation of carbon dioxide. There is carbon plus oxygen gives carbon dioxide. This is an example because two reactants combine together to form a single product. Also H2 plus O2, hydrogen plus oxygen gives H2O. Here two oxygen, here one oxygen. Here two hydrogen, here two hydrogen. So here we have to place 2. So now oxygen becomes 2. Now hydrogen becomes 4. So you have to add 2 here. Okay. Yesterday I taught about this balancing. If you don't know how to do this, you can refer to my previous video. So 2H2 plus O2 gives 2H2. This is another example for combination reaction. Okay. Also, I told you about the calcium hydroxide which is formed in this reaction. It is used for whitewashing the walls. It is used for whitewashing the walls. Why is it used for whitewashing the walls? The thing is, as soon as you whitewash the walls with this calcium hydroxide, it reacts with carbon dioxide in the atmosphere. Calcium hydroxide, when whitewashed on the walls, reacts with carbon dioxide in the air to produce calcium carbonate. Calcium carbonate. Okay, what's the use of that? Calcium carbonate gives a shiny finish to the walls. Okay, it gives a shiny white color finish to the wall, so it looks so glamorous. So this reaction which takes place between CaOH twice and CO2 gives CaCO3. Okay, and marble also has the same chemical formula. Okay. Okay. Now exothermic reactions. Exothermic, I already talked about this yesterday. Exothermic is in the sense the heat is emitted, the heat is evolved, okay. So exothermic reactions, always the product will be accompanied by this factor, that is plus heat. Always the product will be accompanied by this factor, plus heat, because heat is always emitted. Okay, very good example for this is burning of natural gas. What is a natural gas? Let's take methane. Methane, when it reacts with oxygen, that is combustion, burning, it's getting burned. Okay, so you're adding it to oxygen. The products are carbon dioxide and water. Okay, carbon dioxide and water. Has this equation been balanced? Shall we check? Carbon 1, carbon 1, balanced. Hydrogen 4, hydrogen 2. So I have to add 2 here. Now, oxygen 2. Oxygen 2 plus 2, 4. So I have to add 2 here. Have you understood how a balance is? So this is how you have to balance. So this is an example for exothermic reaction because heat is evolved. Because heat is evolved. So this is the first example which we can say. Now the second example which we can say is respiration. So you all know that respiration is a common biological process which occurs in human beings, and whatever food we consume, maybe let us take it as rice or potatoes, it will be in the form of carbohydrates, and carbohydrates break down to form glucose. Okay, what does it form? Glucose. So what is the formula for glucose? C6H12O6. What's the formula for glucose? C6H12O6. It reacts with, what do we take inside? Oxygen. Am I right? So it reacts with oxygen to produce, what do we release out? Carbon dioxide, and it also releases some amount of water and energy. And that is the energy what we receive to perform our daily activities. Okay, so this is again another example for an exothermic reaction. Okay. Now the third one, decomposition of vegetable matter. Decomposition of vegetable matter also releases heat, so that is also an example for exothermic reaction. Also we learned initially at the beginning of this lesson, we learned one reaction, that is magnesium. When it reacts with oxygen, it produces magnesium oxide. Remember that? So there also heat is evolved, so it is also an exothermic reaction. At the same time, two reactants are combining together to form a single product, so it is also an example for combination reaction. So you can tell that this is a combination and exothermic reaction. Okay. Now the next thing what we are going to see about is decomposition reaction. Decomposition reaction. We all know the meaning of the word decomposition. That is, something is getting broken down or something is getting decomposed. Okay, so decomposition is one thing. For example, if you take AB, it will give you A plus B. Splitting up of the reactants to give separate products. That's what we can say in easy language. That's what is known as decomposition reaction. For example, you are taking a compound like FeSO4. Okay, you are taking a compound called iron sulfate. Okay, the compound which you are taking into consideration is iron sulfate. Okay, so you are having it in test tube. Iron sulfate crystals, they are green in color. Okay, iron sulfate crystals are green in color, and if you are heating them, something is going to be decomposed. Whenever you want a decomposition reaction to occur, you must always heat. Okay, so when you are heating this FeSO4, how do we represent that? We put delta symbol on the arrow to represent that this reaction, this reactant mixture is being heated. So FeSO4 on heating gives Fe2O3. This is a major product which is formed. Along with that, SO2 plus SO3. So this is a major product which is formed. So the color, this is green in color. I told you that this is green in color. It changes to some other color. Okay, so this is how we can infer. I told you that we can only predict that a chemical reaction has occurred if there is a change in state or color or evolution of a gas or temperature change, as we dealt with in the previous video. So here also the color has been changed, so a chemical reaction has taken place, and that is what is this decomposition reaction. Okay, but you must be very careful when you are heating this iron sulfate. You must be like when you are heating it on a Bunsen burner, you must not have it straight to your face. Okay, also you must not have it straight to your neighbor's face. Okay, have some courtesy for you and your neighbor. You have to have it away from both of you. Okay, you have to be very careful when you do such things. Okay, now then. So we can tell that in decomposition reaction, a single reactant breaks down to produce a lot of products. This is how we can say it, explain about decomposition reaction in an easy language. Another good formula, another good example for decomposition reaction is CaCO3. Just now we learned about this. It decomposes to give CaO plus CO2. That is calcium carbonate decomposes, that is when we heat. It gives CaO plus CO2. This is yet another example for decomposition reaction. So these are the two examples for decomposition reaction which we must keep it in our mind. Okay. Also you know that this is limestone. This is limestone, and this already we have seen. This is quicklime. This is limestone. So limestone, as we all know, it's used in the production of cement. It's a major constituent of cement. Okay. Okay. Another one decomposition reaction. Another one decomposition reaction which we have been provided in book is PbNO3 twice. That is lead nitrate. On heating gives lead oxide plus nitrogen dioxide plus so lead nitrate on heating gives lead oxide plus nitrogen dioxide plus oxygen. Okay, so this reaction can be inferred, that is such a decomposition reaction has occurred. How do we come to know that? Because of the production of this gas. When this gas is formed in the test tube, it emits brown fumes. Reddish brown fumes. It emits reddish brown fumes. Why does reddish brown fumes occur? Because of the formation of nitrogen dioxide. So this is how we can infer that this decomposition reaction has occurred. There is lead nitrate on heating, on decomposing gives lead oxide plus nitrogen dioxide plus oxygen. Okay. So these all reactions took place. These all decomposition reactions decomposed only because we gave them sufficient heat. Am I right? So sufficient heat has been given to them, and thus the reaction took place. So these kind of decomposition reactions are known as thermal decomposition reactions. Okay, this is the first kind of decomposition reactions. There are other kind of decomposition reactions, and there are some more which even get decomposed by light. Okay, and that's what we are going to learn next. That is AgCl. Silver chloride. Silver chloride. When you heat, you are not heating it, you are just exposing it to light. You are just exposing it to light, and you will be getting silver plus chlorine. Okay, it will get decomposed and the color changes. Okay, there is the color of this changes into grey color. It turns grey color. Okay. Actually this is white in color, and when you expose it to light it changes into grey in color. So this is known as photo decomposition. because we use light to decompose. We use light in this reaction. It's known as photo decomposition reaction. Okay, that's what is the example which has been given in the book. So AgCl, also AgBr. AgBr is also another example. AgBr and AgCl, they both decompose. Okay. Now, the next thing is displacement reaction. Displacement. So, for example, I am sitting on a chair. Okay, I am sitting on a chair, and some other person is coming towards me to snatch me away from the chair and to take the seat. Okay, so they can take the seat only if they are stronger than me. Am I right? They can only take the seat if they are stronger than me. What if they are weaker than me? They can't do that because I am stronger than them. I will be retaining the seat. But if they are very stronger than me and they approach towards me and they snatch away my seat and take the seat, so that kind of a reaction is known as displacement reaction. For that you must be the most reactive, or else it's not possible. I told you that you must be strong. So we can put it in other words that we must be more reactive than the metal which is sitting in that place. For example, you are taking a solution of copper sulfate. You are taking a solution of copper sulfate and you are having it like that. So it is blue in color. Copper sulfate solution is blue in color. Copper sulfate solution is blue in color, and it's blue in color, and after that you are immersing an iron nail inside. You are immersing an iron nail inside, which looks greyish white, or even silver, you can say. After some time, what happens is that this iron nail turns red. Okay, reddish brown. This iron nail turns reddish brown and the solution turns pale blue. That is, the blue color just fades away. You can even say it becomes green. Okay, so only when the iron nail is placed inside, the iron nail's color changes into reddish brown and the solution changes into green color. But earlier it was in blue color. So why does this reaction takes place? Shall we write the reaction? CuSO4, you are adding iron nail, so Fe gives, as iron is more reactive than copper. So this is the chair upon which copper is seated. So iron is more reactive. So when it approaches here, copper should actually give up because iron is more reactive than copper. So it will take the place. FeSO4 and Cu will be left alone. This is what is the copper deposit, the reddish brown deposit on the iron nail. Okay, this is what makes the iron nail look reddish brown in color. Okay, there are also some other examples like Zn, zinc plus CuSO4. Only because zinc is more reactive than copper, we will be getting the products as zinc sulfate plus copper. Also, lead plus CuCl2, that is lead plus copper chloride. Okay, copper chloride will give you PbCl2 plus copper, only because lead is more reactive than copper. Can you understand that? So this is what is known as displacement reaction, that is you are displacing something from its original position and making it go alone. Okay, that's what. Now double displacement. So the word itself says double displacement. That means a double displacement process occurs. That is, I told you that only one thing will be displaced. Here two things will be displaced. For example, let us take this as an example. Na2SO4, that is sodium sulfate plus barium chloride. Okay, so both of the ions get interchanged. That is, these two combine together. So BaSO4 plus NaCl. BaSO4 plus NaCl. And if you want to balance this here too will. Okay, and this is a white precipitate. Precipitate is something which is insoluble in water. Okay, it gives a cloudy appearance and it is insoluble in water. So the thing which is formed here, barium sulfate, is white in color and it's a precipitate, and also Na2SO4 changed into BaSO4. So there is an interchange between these two and there is an interchange between these two. So this is called a double displacement reaction, and it's also known as precipitation reaction. Only because a precipitate is formed here. Only because a precipitate is formed here. Okay, any reaction which gives out a precipitate is known as precipitation reaction. Actually the BaSO4 is formed due to the reaction between the ions Ba2 plus and SO4 2 minus. Okay, Ba2 plus and SO4 2 minus from the reactant part. So this is how the precipitate is formed. Okay, so such a kind of reaction in which the exchange of ions between the reactants, that is, we say that exchange of elements, but actually the ions are getting exchanged. Okay, exchange of anion with cation and cation with anion. For example, here what is that? Sodium is the cation, sodium is the cation and sulfate is the anion, and barium is the cation here, chlorine is the anion. So these two combine together, so exchange of this thing and this thing combines together and gives us this. Okay, so this kind of reaction is known as double displacement and it's also known as precipitation reaction. Also in the first part we learned about lead nitrate, lead iodide, lead nitrate plus potassium iodide. Remember, we learned it in change of color. So I told you that they both will combine together to produce lead iodide. So these two combine together and these two combine together to produce KNO3 twice. KNO3. Okay, PBI and KNO3, and this is a yellow color precipitate. It's known as lead iodide, and this is also an example for double displacement reaction, and it is also an example for precipitation reaction. Whenever you write precipitate, you can draw an arrow mark like this to represent that it is a precipitate. That is a down arrow mark to represent that it's a precipitate. Okay, so that's all for today. I'll be meeting you in the next video with my third part of this first lesson, and then we'll go to the second lesson. Thank you. This is your Shell Lectures. Subscribe to my channel, like and share this video.